Good evening and welcome to the Psychic Coffee Shop. I'm Aeson Knight, and sitting down with me is Moneymaker. Your mainstream thing, a lot of I found about was like 7 passive streams of income. What's this deal I'm hearing about financial collapse?
Yeah, I'm AJ Albert. I'm the CEO of Exclusive Financial Class, and I'm also the
Mm-hmm.
communications director for Blam Retail.
Yeah,
So I help with I do like financial literacy education, and I
mm-hmm.
provide services.
You do. But we're not talking like, Dave Ramsey, who's very much
Yeah, well, we're more detailed.
complicated.
So Dave Ramsey, he really just focuses on eliminating your debt, and
Right.
but we're more of we provide you experts. So not only do we give you the education, but we provide you experts in every field of financial success. So we're
Mm-hmm.
going to help you minimize your taxes. We're going to help you get discounts on your bills. We're going to give you credit restoration. We're going to show you how to eliminate your debt. Then we're going to show you where to place that money where it grows for you.
Okay. So how are you different? Like, do you do the baby steps with them, or are you like, no, let's show you how to really make money?
Right. So we're more in depth, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we give you the experts. We're more of a done for you company. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's great to teach people stuff, but you have somebody that go to school for kinesiology for 4 years, but still can't learn how to lose weight.
Right.
So the benefit that what we do is we show you how to take a 2 or 3 digits and invest in yourself so you can make 4 or 5 or 6 digits.
Mm-hmm.
And
One of
that's
them,
yeah,
one of them looks like, passive income. Now, what is passive income?
well, passive income is non-wage income. It's income that you receive for not giving your. We give our time for labor, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they pay you for your time. So now with passive income, it works while you sleep. So you don't. What in our generation we call that mailbox money, but for
Uh-huh.
these new generation, it might be like more of a direct deposit that you didn't have to go to work for.
Exactly. And how do you do that for people?
Well, it's really up to the person. There's so many different avenues for you to actually create passive income. But first, we want to teach you how to put the little money you do make into places where you won't lose it. So now you can invest it. So
Mm-hmm.
now it's growing in multiple locations instead of just one location.
Right.
Right. So that's what we call becoming your own bank. Because what banks do with your money, it doesn't sit in the bank. What
Mm-mm.
they do is they put it into an insurance policy, which is called BOLI, bank owned life insurance policies. So
Mm-hmm.
you don't lose your money, it's insured. And then they borrow the same amount from the bank, and then they loan it to you for a credit card, they loan it to you for a car note, they loan it for you student loans, mortgage. So you can do that with your own money. Put it into a life insurance policy where your value can grow, and then you can loan it to yourself to purchase properties, to purchase businesses, for purchase things that are going to make you revenue without you having to go to work for it.
Okay. How so?
Well, it's so just like you said, you work for 9 to 5. So once you get that paycheck, right? First thing is we got to get the big four out of your pocket. The big four is most people don't even know it. If you ask somebody what's their biggest expense, they're probably going to say their mortgage or their car note or something like that, right? It's not. Taxes is everyone's biggest expense. So if we get taxes out of your pocket, then you no longer cause debt. Taxes
Mm-hmm.
cause debt. So they've convinced you to give the government all your money, then turned
Mm-hmm.
around and said, put your money in the bank. So they take the first 1/3 of your check is going to taxes, the second 1/3 is going to debt, and then the last 1/3 is going to big business. They're spending all this time and money to advertise to make sure that you are participating in events every month of the year. So if you go down the month of the year, there's a holiday or some sort of event for you to spend money every month. And
Uh-huh.
that doesn't include birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, sporting events. So you're really, all your money is going out. So most people say they don't have the money to invest. Well, the money for you to invest is got to be taken back in taxes, because it's 100% legal to minimize or eliminate your taxes. It's only illegal to evade taxes.
Right. Not to pay them.
Yes, absolutely. So now that we got that money put back in your, and the average American is overpaying their taxes by $600 a month. So if we
Right.
could put, the beautiful thing about it is the average person that files bankruptcy only needed $500 a month back into their pay, and they'd never been in bankruptcy.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can put that $600 a month back into your pay, how, you know what I'm saying, how much money would you have if you had no debt? Because now you can take $600 a month, eliminate your debt.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then that way now you have money to invest. And on average, by per month, we bring back $2,000 on average per client back into your house for now you to invest it in things that will make you more money. So now we can get you an Airbnb. We can get you a car rented out on Turo. So we can teach you how to do these things. We can show you what land banking does. That's buying land in the path of growth,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they do studies all year long to say, hey, we're going to develop on this land. Warren Buffett is going to spend $2 billion to develop on this land in six to 8 years from now. If you buy this land at 40% below market value, now you have to sit on it, and Warren Buffett has to come buy it from you 6 to 8 years later when he wants to break ground.
Right.
Right. So we show you little things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Reason why we don't do it. I don't do it as a financial advisor, because I can't sell you these products because it makes it illegal.
Right.
So I educate you on these products and then send you to my financial advisors so they can make sure they get set up with those things. So now I can help the underserved community get into investments that they would never hear about.
Why do you think we're so poorly educated on money?
That is actually on purpose. If you look up, well, we know the Rockefellers. We all know why the Rockefellers are wealthy, right?
Right.
They created the education system.
Right.
And his thought process in creating the education system was, I don't want critical thinkers.
Right.
Critical thinkers become competition.
Mm-hmm.
I want employees.
Right.
So he created a whole education system, and the government tax system are all based off keeping those wealthy people wealthy.
Right. And generational wealth building.
Absolutely.
Which
So,
a lot of our world, a lot of
mm-hmm.
our country doesn't have. Like they never had that. They were customized. And our world is greatly changed.
Yes.
Growing up, I think you're looking at your Facebook, you're the same generation.
Yeah.
We were taught 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
20 years, get your
Yeah.
gold watch, enjoy your pension check.
And that is not the case. It may have worked for them back in the day.
Right.
But like you said, there's different eras.
Yeah.
And if you look at the era that so if you notice, pensions were put in place because company would say, okay, well, you do that, we'll pay you. We'll keep paying you until you die.
Right.
But companies got wise and said, oh, if we keep doing this, we're going to be paying more in retirement than we do people who are working.
Right.
So that's why they had created the 401k. So we're like, we'll get rid of pensions and create a 401k so you can invest in your future, even though we know you will never have the money to invest in it yourself.
Exactly. So I'm looking here, and you recently ran some game changer conferences. What are those about?
So we, like you said, these are the education that you'll get from wealthy people that are teaching you the things that they did to actually get wealthy. We teach mindset. We educate you on how to grow your business. You're looking at people who are, in the top 1 to 5% income earners in the country, are pretty much just teaching you how to actually efficiently run your business and teach you financial literacy and how to apply it.
Right. What's different?
Well, the big difference is we give you the experts to actually help you do it as well. So
Right.
that's the main things is like most people don't have the education to actually, they have no one to teach them. They have no place to go to get it. The only thing they can do is look it up online, and 9 times out of 10, you don't really understand it. You hear about it. A lot of people understand, oh, well, I can hire my kids, but no one knows how to do that.
Right.
So, like I said, we bring you into a space where you can get that knowledge, ask the right questions, learn these things, and then actually give you an expert that will actually implement it for you.
Mm-hmm.
So now you get to ask the questions. So we have Roger Grant is one of the guys that sets up our complex trusts.
Mm-hmm.
And this is basically what the Rockefellers have in place and why their family is still wealthy to this day. We help you get those set up, but you get to learn from the person who is actually helping you set it up.
Interesting. So, I don't know. I would love dividend money.
Yeah. The eighth wonder of the world, right?
Huh?
That is the eighth wonder of the world.
Well, it's the eighth wonder of the world. What even fascinates me more so is, people think you have to invest in with like Charles Schwab, and Merrill Lynch, and E-Trade. They don't realize that you can do that on Cash App.
Yeah, absolutely. But here's the thing that I really want to impress upon people is you have to understand cash flow first, right? So those are long-term investments. Those are things that you have to put your money in and let them sit for long term. But what we want you to understand is you have to create the cash flow first. But cash flow is what buys your time back, right? So if I go get if you look at somebody and they go buy a rental property and put a long-term rental person in it, that person may be paying their mortgage and putting $200 to $300 a month in their pocket, which is not a lot of money, but it's what I'm saying, it's a residual income, right? But now somebody who puts a couple Airbnbs in place may be making $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month off of that one property after they pay the mortgage. Right. So your cash flow is greater. So now if you do that enough times and diversify, you definitely have to diversify. Like you said, people don't even know you can go buy a business that's already revenuing $10,000 a month.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But buying those things that's going to increase your cash flow every month, these are things that are actually going to bring money into your household daily. Then you can take that money and invest in those long-term investments, because now you need the tax shelters so you don't pay taxes on that money. But you can't worry about those things if you can't pay your bills.
Right. And that's the bigger problem, is paying your bill.
Yeah.
Seeing where money is wasted. Like, people don't think about it. McDonald's is really killing you in multiple directions.
Absolutely.
And then the other thing that people, for me, being the life coach, is doing things that really is a waste of your money.
Yes.
You think you're saving it.
Well, we're taught to be price conscious, not value aware.
Right.
So we'll think of paying for a tax expert to minimize your taxes is an expense.
Right.
But that tax expert may save you $600, but you only spent $100 on that person. That's an investment in yourself.
Right.
That's value. So we will go spend 3-4 figures on something that will bring us absolutely zero value. But we won't go spend 2 digits on something that will bring us some value.
Right. Or bring us knowledge.
Yes.
I was in a conversation with another psychic because we're currently working on classes for a platform I work with.
Yes.
You know, and they were talking about, well, you know, no one knows how to do this anymore. And I'm like, I know how to do it. Okay, write that down as a class.
Yeah.
You know, and that's income that, like, every 15th of the month, I go and check my little PayPal, and there's a little check there. And you take that little check, and I also do what I call dollar up,
Yeah.
meaning, like, if my checking account has $126.20 in it, I drop that 20 cents in the Cash App
Yeah.
and then go in there. And these are just little games that you do to build up your cash flow
Yes.
to play into it, like dividend income. You know,
Absolutely.
dividend income may only be like 20 cents
Yes.
over the next 6 months. You know, every quarter you get 20 cents off the stock. That's cute. That's $2 that you can turn around that you didn't have to go work for.
Exactly.
And we're not talking about entrepreneurs working 70 and 80 hours a week in this.
No.
We're talking what's your average top earner doing?
And basically that's what the big conversation is. If you're looking at our top income earner, you know what I'm saying, we got people in upwards of making $450,000 a month.
Right. How many hours a week?
Maybe you're talking about 4 to 5 hours a day.
That's great. I mean, because if we look at, like, what I call the Spitfires that really took
Yep.
social media by storm, like Gary Vaynerchuk,
Mm-hmm.
you know, he's preaching 90 hours a week, 150 pieces of content.
Yeah.
You know, and us in the sphere of, like, psychic stuff and this type of thing that are already 1099ers. Like,
Yeah.
we already know we set up that LLC 20 years ago, going, "Oh no, Mr. Government, you can hand me back my money.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Absolutely.
much." You know,
That's huge. People don't know how much money they're giving away by not everyone. Like I tell people, everyone, I don't care who you are,
hmm
should have a home-based business
yes,
because you get to write off every expense in your home and it brings it back to your house. Like
right,
people don't understand. You at the moment your child is conceived, somebody's out to start getting money out of you. They get baby registries and everything designed, you know what I'm saying, to get money out of you the moment you conceive a child. But we won't take the time to understand that if we have a business, we can start setting up custodial accounts and just moving money from your account to their account as a
hmm
paycheck,
right,
and start a custodial account where you can start investing for your child. You may do, just say you have to give your job a photo shoot. So they're going to model
hmm
for your business. They may do one photo shoot a year. You pay them $6,500. Now you can max out a IRA at $6,500 a year. In
hmm
that, by the time that kid turns 18, you know what I'm saying, that count is probably in upwards of $400,000 or $500,000.
exactly. Already sitting there waiting, paying for colleges, paying for the, you know, and that short circuits what I call the debt cycle.
Yes,
It has been designed since the 80s for them.
but you don't pay taxes on that money now.
No, you don't, because they're underage
Yeah.
and it's retirement or, you know, set for something.
Mm-hmm. And it stays in your house.
Right. And it stays within the growth factor.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, so when we look at things, you know, setting at the place you are now, where do you see this changing in 5 years? I mean, because everyone was screaming Bitcoin 5 years ago, and now the
Yeah.
government's going, "Oh no, 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 no! Come back here! You owe us money. Thank you very
Yeah.
much."
Absolutely. Like I said, people are, if you're paying attention to what's happening with the American dollar, if you're not on the right side of it,
Mhm.
it is, the poverty level is definitely going to increase. The rich are going to continue to get richer because they're playing by the right rules,
Right.
and the middle class is going to fall into poverty because the middle class mindset is, I want to I want to build enough income so I can get credit to buy things that I really can't afford, so they look like they have money. But if they're not playing by those principles of making their money work for them, then they're
Right.
going to fall into poverty levels. I don't care who you are. That's why the average lottery winner who wins millions of dollars, 70% of them are broke 4 to 5 years later and have to file bankruptcy.
Because they don't know how to grow it.
They don't grow it.
Yeah. They don't grow it. They don't use it as seed capital. They don't use it for anything that's directive. You know, who is some of the experts you're listening to?
I actually, so I'm one of those guys. I listen to everybody because I figure everyone has something good they may be teaching. You just can't listen to everything that everybody's saying to you.
Right.
Most people don't pay attention to the, you have to really dig into it. When you hear something, don't focus on the rest of it. Focus on the one thing you need to learn.
Okay.
And go learn that and then implement it immediately. Once you implement it immediately, it is locked in for life. So you don't really have to go out and try to engulf all of this education all at once.
No.
I'm not saying that Dave Ramsey is teaching debt. If you need to learn how to get out of debt, go to Dave Ramsey. If you want to change your mindset is the most important thing, right? Because if you never change this, then you won't change anything. So what I like to tell people is the windshield is bigger than the rear view mirror for a reason.
Right.
If you keep making decisions based off of your past, your tomorrow's going to look exactly like today.
Right. And you're going to see the repetitive pattern that occurs there.
Absolutely. So if you want to make change, you got to look forward. Make decisions based off who you want to be or where you want to be 5 to 10 years from now. And you will start gradually seeing your life change in that direction.
Yeah. Well, I have a little issue with Dave Ramsey. And there's a couple big issues. One, he's very secular, which doesn't fit everybody. Two, he completely ignores the wasteful money with credit scores because he's like, oh, you don't have to worry about your credit score.
Yes.
Yes, you do.
You absolutely do.
Okay. It literally impacts right down to how much your power bill is.
Yeah. It's your credibility. It's who you are. Like when people, so I tell so when you get into when you're looking at becoming a billionaire, 100% of billionaires are in private equity.
Right.
Meaning I'm just going to put money into your company and I'm going to have a board seat and I'm going to wait on my checks to hit the bank. Right. So with that being said, if I'm going to give you money, you got to look good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They want to make sure that you can handle the money that I'm going to present to you.
Right.
If you can't manage $10,000 on a credit card, I'm not going to give you $10 million.
Exactly.
So credit is important and you want to use those things that are available to actually build it.
Right. You know, like you were talking about owning 2 to 3 Airbnbs. That's all great and good. If you've got the average home is 164,000.
Yeah.
You know, so, looking at that, you're going to have to use some credit.
Yes. And like you said, and people, you got to understand that there's good debt and there's bad debt. So
if neutral debt, that doesn't matter.
I'm going to use the debt to actually make more money, and it's a good debt.
Right.
And you need your credit to acquire that good debt.
Right. Sometimes that good debt is a credit card. There's many, there's many entrepreneurs out there that write a check to Amex every month.
Yeah.
Why? Because that's how they control their spending.
Absolutely.
I mean,
and so I got a prime example. There's a musician. His name is Cam. He actually financed his own album on his Amex card. So now he owns all the rights to his music. Now, once he starts selling his own album, now he pays back the Amex card. He owns all his music clear and free, and doesn't owe anybody.
What's your experience with the creating your own small Wall Street within social groups?
So we're getting to that point. So I'm working with I'm working with a group of investors, and we're actually trying to build our own little network, so we can actually start figuring out where to place this money versus letting the current system choose where it actually goes.
Right.
So I do believe we need to get to the point where we get back to invest in our own communities. We need to own our own communities, and it's not happening because they're controlling where the money goes.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, if you look at the diversity of just mortgages alone, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
the percentages are staggering.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're upset because gentrification comes in and pushes us all out of the places we can't even afford to stay in again.
Well, I don't know. Here's my viewpoint of it.
Yeah,
Our generation, generations before us, both of our communities were taught you get your home,
yeah,
you buy your home, you pay your home, whatever. You never risk that, and you take care of your internal community because we both knew
yeah.
that the wrong landlord, property gets sold, you're in trouble.
You're in trouble.
You get a new boyfriend, you're in trouble. New girlfriend, you're in
In
trouble.
trouble.
So we have this generation of going, no, housing equality doesn't work.
Yeah.
Didn't work. That's cute. That never really happened. Do you think that's being lost on our younger generations?
Um. Yes and no.
Okay.
So, because of the current climate, there a lot of these younger generations are getting extremely, extremely smart because they're in the information area. They have a lot of information at their fingertips. So
Mm-hmm.
they're learning to create. You got teenagers creating six-figure incomes now,
If not more.
if not more. You know what I'm saying? So, but the problem is the ones who are not learning
Uh-huh.
is growing staggeringly because they're still looking for jobs and the jobs are being taken away at a rapid rate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're getting to the point where they're putting self-checkout in gas stations. I
Yeah.
mean, your job opportunities are tremendously, and let's not forget this AI that's about to come out. That's made
That's interesting, to say the
yeah,
least.
that has the potential of even taking away more jobs.
Right. But then we have the other side of it,
Yeah,
which, I see a lot of small entrepreneurs and a lot of entrepreneurs in general going, I can't keep the shop open. I can't keep the work moving. I can't
yeah.
keep the flow going. I can't even find somebody to work so I can go to the grocery store.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's like, that's when it's like, well, look around in your community, find the mini you and hire them.
Absolutely.
You know,
You you have to find somebody that will push you.
you're right.
And somebody that has enough energy to make sure that you stay on your toes.
Right.
So, like you said, I had a little skit about Belgian horses. You know what I'm saying? They're
Mhm.
saying one Belgian horse can pull like 8,000 pounds, but two Belgian horses can pull up to like 35,000 pounds. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because now that they're paired together, they keep pushing each other even past their limits.
Right. And
So yeah, you
growing
want you want to go find those people in your community that's going to push the envelope just as hard as you. Like I said, the more people you put on your team that want to grow and help you grow,
right.
you know, and you like you said, it's a community of growing, so we can all diversify the money that we're spending in our own communities.
Right. And not only spending on our own communities, but putting the workforce in our communities,
Yeah,
because yeah, you can go and hire a virtual assistant. Speaking of the psychic energy, you can go
yeah,
and hire you a virtual assistant for about $20 a week,
yeah,
um, to like handle basic emails, that type of thing, from the Philippines.
yeah.
Or you can hire the kid down the street that's interested in tarot and just wants to see how the business is run, and reinvest that in your own community for the same price. Now, granted, yes,
Yeah.
you're raising up your replacement in your competition,
Yes.
but at the same time, it's takes a lot less work to get them because they get the concepts more. But people don't think virtual assistants may only work 4 or 5 hours a day.
Yeah.
And all they need is like internet, and then they negotiate their own contracts.
Yes.
Something so different for Americans.
And like I said, they're creating an entrepreneurial mindset because they're doing it as an entrepreneur versus you just hiring somebody from in your community,
right,
as an employee.
Right.
So we have to start thinking about how we actually hire people in our community. Mm-hmm. Yes, I don't believe in oversaturation, right? I train your competition. Absolutely train you, because no market is oversaturated. If Mary Kay can be $1 billion organization and only target women, it's not saturated.
Well, it's not saturated, but not only that, but Mary Kay had some very strong principles of business.
Yes.
That are still active today.
Yeah.
Communication thing, about following up with customers and all this, like Chase should take it for, like, if Chase would implement Mary Kay communications, I use her model. It makes a change in business.
Yeah, absolutely.
But getting that idea of like being a virtual assistant, only takes a couple hours. That fills in that $2,000 you need to spin off into Turo or the car rental gig.
There you go. Yeah. And like I said, like, and you, like, those little things, those are small beginnings, because you know what I'm saying, you may get a little car, a Honda Accord, and your car note may only be $300 to $400 a month. Right. So now you make, like one of my clients, he made $760 the first weekend that he got the car, listed it on Turo. Right. So the rest of the month is sheer profit.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? You're talking about averaging, you know what I'm saying, anywhere to $1,500 to $2,500 a month off a Honda Accord.
Right.
So, like I said, those are small beginnings, but that's all you have to do is deliver a car and wait for them to return it, clean it up, and deliver it again.
Right. And, but that also feeds the next thing. Or feeds your next thing.
Yeah. So now you can scale up, maybe have 2-3 cars, now take 2-3 cars profit, and then move it into an Airbnb. Now you got 2-3 Airbnbs. Now you can go buy your first business. Now you have 3 businesses. Now you can sell all of those and diversify it over 5 businesses. Right. You know what I'm saying? So people sell. So imagine if my company is revenuing $10,000 a month, right? I want to scale up, so I'm gonna sell that company so I can buy me a company that's gonna make $100,000 a month.
Right.
So those companies are for sale. You know what I'm saying? You just got to know where, you know what I'm saying, what market you want to be in. But those are cash flow business. Then you can take that and start looking at, you know what I'm saying, investing with Fidelity, Vanguard, and all that.
Right. Or, investing in just like, I don't know, Coca-Cola, that pays $2 every quarter to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm not allowed to talk
capital ventures. I like, so I was one of those ones that I heard about Facebook and stuff before it was actually Facebook, and didn't invest in it. So I like going into capital ventures. I want to get these young entrepreneurs and CEOs and give them the capital. And like I said, I want to be like Steve Jobs. I want to own 1% of a $3 trillion company, but I want to do that 100 times.
Right. Because that way it just builds off itself.
Absolutely.
And this isn't quick money. It's going to take a little bit of work. It's going to take a lot of education. Like finance in general is a lot of education.
But it's also about not being the smartest person in the room. You want to hire
knowing the smaller person.
you on specific things. So
Yeah.
you no longer have to do that work. Let the person who's smart and enjoys that do
Hmm.
that for you.
Right. All right. Well, how do they get involved with your community, and what's that about?
Man, they actually just can reach out. Like I said, we're on. I'm on every platform you can possibly think about at
Mhm.
Exclusive Financial Class. You can check out my YouTube or just reach out to me. My numbers all on those locations, or you can reach out to me on the websites. That's www.exclusivefinancialclass.com. No
Right.
E on the front of exclusive.
Right.
But like I said, getting involved with our community is easy. Like you said, we're a bunch of people that everyday people that started out as teachers, lawyers, doctors, you name it. We all need the same education because we all need to know what to do with the little money we do make so we can make enough money where we no longer have to work and we build that generational wealth that we need for our families to grow.
Mhm. Now, are you part of FIRE also?
Say again?
Are you part of the FIRE movement also?
No, I'm not a part of fire movement, but Uh,
It sounds a lot like it because you're building just that wealth up like they
yeah,
did.
yeah. I gotta learn. I gotta dig more into it before I get involved with it. I like to make sure
Yeah.
I'm on the right track, and I don't want to. I don't want to pull my resources from one thing to move to something that may not be beneficial. So
Right.
I'm all about the underserved community. So if it doesn't suit the underserved community, then I
Right.
can't put my energy into it.
Understandable. Understandable. All right, guys. So be sure to reach out to him. His link to Facebook will be in our show notes. Thanks for joining me for a cup of coffee. We'll talk
Hey,
later.
I appreciate you. Thank you. I love the show. This is a great opportunity. Love having a conversation with you. Hopefully, we get to come back for more.
We will. We will. And you've got a course coming up, isn't it, at the end of the month?
Well, yeah, we got a lot of things going on. Actually, we're going to Silicon Valley this week, and yeah, we've got a course coming out at the end of the month.
Yeah. So, guys, hop on that train too. I'm sure that you can learn a lot from it. Talk to you later. Bye.
Hey everybody, Lady Gwendolyn here from Rowan Temple of Light, and I'm here to tell you about our events this summer. First up is Beltane in the Hills, May 13th, and that is from 1 to 6. We have entertainment, we have a bunch of vendors, we have a fairy photo shoot. It's going to be exciting. You having any questions, reach out to Earth Magic or to myself. After that, we have Central West Virginia Pagan Pride, August 19th. That's at Holly Gray Park from 11 to 5 for the day. And we will have Sarah Masters coming down from Pittsburgh to be our keynote speaker. We have some great classes for that. So if you want to get involved, reach out to Rowan Temple of Light at Gmail, or just follow us along on Facebook at Rowan Temple of Light, and we look forward to seeing you out in the community. See you there.
Welcome back, Goblins! My name is Jason, and I am the host of the Esoteric Book Club, a podcast that examines titles on the magical, paranormal, the mysterious, and the strange. I release 2 episodes a month, in which I review books on esoteric topics, recap news of the weird, and conduct interviews with authors, practitioners, and experiencers. The Esoteric Book Club can be found on every major podcast service, or can be streamed directly from esotericbookclub.org.
Hi, I'm Aeson Knight. I provide tarot readings covering everything from love and relationships to your life questions and your most spiritual answers. And also, I provide a lot of guidance in finances and divorces and all those relationship problems. So, if you'd like to get a reading from me privately, not on air, you can feel free to do so by visiting aesonknight.com and booking your appointment. I also provide on-demand services, so if your life is a little chaotic, you can go ahead and click that Call Now button there on my site. It'll connect you to Keen, and if you've not been with Keen before, you'll get 3 free minutes to talk with me, so that's great for a quick answer question. All right, guys, back to the show. Enjoy. Bye, y'all.
Hi, I'm Tracy Van. I provide a blended reading consisting of mediumship, psychic, and tarot cards. A reading from me can cover any guidance you need from relationships with your partner or your family, spiritual, financial, any questions you may need clarity on. If you would like to book an appointment with me, check out my website, tracyvann.com. That's TracyVann.com. I have bookings from 15 to 60 minutes you may choose from. That helps if you just have a quick question, need an answer, or if you're looking for a reading in more depth, I'm here to provide the guidance and clarity for you. Let's just figure it out. Bye.
All right, welcome back. Hello.
Hello.
There we go. There's your voice, Joe.
Oh, okay.
I think it took you a moment to sync up.
It does happen sometimes when you bring me in later.
I do. But that's okay. Glad you're on hook. Oh, we had an enjoyable weekend in Morgantown.
Sure, you can call it that.
All right. Well, what's the dirt for you?
No, it was not the trip of our dreams. I think that's fair to admit. It was not the trip of the dreams. But no, we managed a good hotel stay. It was a good hotel stay.
Mm-hmm.
Got to do some Five Below shopping, which behind me are the pretties.
Great.
Yeah, so had a lovely dinner with some of your former students.
No, my current students.
Well, / current, yeah.
Yeah, those are the current ones.
Okay, well, yeah. But not for that event.
Yeah, not for that event, no. They were current, they're current students of mine in the inner circle, but...
Yeah, I've been struggling with how to say that because, but...
Yeah, we had dinner with the inner circle, and that was good.
We had dinner with the inner circle.
So that was fun. Had a lot of fun there. They chose an interesting restaurant, really liked the concept, think I could get behind it.
What?
Chinese Buffet Supreme takes over Golden Corral and provides fresh homemade sushi. I think I'm there.
Yes, yeah. You were good with that.
Let's go with that. We had a little bit of problem with the name.
Well, while I'm driving a car is not the best time for me to have to have a restaurant randomly pointed out at me. Where I get one glance at the sign before it's like, okay, I have to not kill people because I'm in charge of a motor vehicle.
Right.
So no, my pronunciation in that moment was not the best.
No.
I didn't really get to process it.
Right.
But I've heard since that the correct pronunciation could possibly be Kome.
It may be Kome, but that's not how us Americans are going to refer to it from now on. Yeah.
But it was lovely. It was lovely.
I did not take time to enjoy their drinks. I'll have to check that out next time.
Yeah, if you're in Morgantown and you're on university, then yeah, go check it out.
Go check it out. It was fun. It had great
Also,
fun.
Side note, it's basically across the street from the Good Sheets.
Yes.
The Good Sheets.
Yes.
Because there's one on either end of that bridge, and one is the Bad Sheets.
Yes.
It's on the same side of the road as the Bad Sheets, but it is across the road from the Good Sheets.
Yes.
Because this is an important distinction we have to make in every trip.
Yes.
The McDonald's behind the Bad Sheets versus,
Yeah.
It's fun.
It
was fun.
No, it was a good weekend. We experimented with a new class format. I think I'm going to keep it.
Yep. Well, you're making some minor changes. You're making tweaks to it.
I'm making tweaks, but the format I'm keeping.
You know, like the overall encompassing event idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you're doing some minor tweaks on it, like, you know, maybe combine this and this and this and this.
Right.
It makes more sense.
Yeah. You know, one class is 2 hours, one class is 4, or I have an 8-hour class. It's great for Sundays, but Saturday nights I can teach candle magic and Wicca intensive on Sunday, and, you know, doing more power hits than repeatability, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not up there every month. I'm power hitting the classes.
Right, because that's what you were doing at one point, was about once a month, once every 2 months, right, going up, teaching a class, and then teach another class, then teach another class. Not the same class, just different classes, and rotate through them and circle back. And I don't know, it seemed like a few people just kept getting hit with the, every time you teach this, I have a work thing, I have a vacation thing, I have a holiday thing, I have a whatever. I just cannot get to that class.
Right. And, so, you know, some of the classes are very short, you know, like short classes, you know, and some of them are very long. And it's like, well, you know, if I can make a weekend of it, you know, and we used to make a weekend of it. Like, I would go and teach and do readings a day, but there's still room to add another 2 classes there easily.
Well, and the other issue being is that it's a real struggle, like, to go up for a day or a weekend and teach, like, a 1-hour class.
Right.
Like, you know, it's just that moment of, like, I got to make it make dollars and cents.
Right.
Like, because, like, you can't charge $100 for an hour class.
Well, no, I can't. But I can charge, you know, $75 for that one and do another one, and do another one, and have it all make sense.
Yes. And it worked out great.
It did. It did. We had some fun. We, you know, checked out some restaurants and discovered other restaurants. And you're still dealing with the aftermath of one of them. Tuesday.
Yes, it's Tuesday.
No, honey. The email you were supposed to write today to guest relate.
Oh, yeah. Ruby Tuesday, what the hell? Y'all, we got to talk about this for a minute. I have a hard and fast rule. I'm pretty sure we've had to have talked about this on the show. Because you've made fun of me for it.
Right.
Because I have this hard and fast rule. I do not go to a restaurant for the within the hour of its closing. So if it closes at 11, I'm not the motherfucker that walks through the door at 10:20 p.m.
No.
Because no, we don't have time for a good dining experience. Y'all are rushed. Y'all are tired. You just want to get the hell out of here. You're probably gonna spit in my food. And I can't blame you. I can't blame you. I'd be pissed too. So, like, I have this rule. If I don't have at least an hour, we don't go. So Ruby Tuesday, it was cutting it close. We had an hour and 2 minutes because it was 9:58 when we walked through the door. And they were already pulling the buffet.
Yeah.
The salad bar, excuse me. They were pulling the salad bar. Just like yank, yank, yank.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is a Ruby Tuesday. If you take out the words $4.99 salad bar is an option, salad bar, off that menu, there's a lot of white space. Like, you could get a whole other menu on there. Like, this is a major part of, like, the experience of this restaurant.
Right.
I did my part. I did my part. I did not walk at the door at 10:58.
Mm-hmm.
Or 48 or 38 or 28 or 18 or 8. I walked in the door before the last hour.
Mm-hmm.
I expect in that last 15 minutes, you're going to be jerking that salad bar. You're going to want to. Like, I'm not going to be stupid and ask you to go get me something that's not on it. Like,
Right.
you run out of my hard-boiled eggs. Oh, well, that's my tough luck. Yeah. I get there's no point in you opening a whole new container of hard-boiled eggs or making hard-boiled eggs or doing whatever you need to do. I get that. It's my tough luck. This is what's left. We're not doing more. But you're gonna jerk it at 10 before 10 o'clock. It wasn't even 10 yet.
Yeah. Like they were already halfway down the bar and it wasn't even 10 yet. That's an issue. Yeah.
But you did turn around and have an amazing Denny's experience.
I did up until the end.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. Like, our waitress was amazing. Their store manager was a bit.
Our waitress was amazing. She's the same midnight shift waitress we've had before. I enjoy her service very well. She's wonderful. She's an old style waitress, which is even better.
Mm-hmm. Mad props to her. She does great. Has to see her pen.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You can verify if it's the one we're talking.
Right. You will know that it's her because her pen says Thunder on it. You can figure out the rest of
all
it.
you need to know to verify it's the right pen. You should be laughing hysterically if you find it.
Yep. But if you go to Denny's in Clarksburg, West Virginia, ask for Stephanie. She's amazing. However, it best be glad that I did not have my bail money with me in this weekend.
Like, it was like D&D this weekend, you know? Because we encountered the troll on the checkout.
So we go to checkout, and I'm standing there for less than a minute. Manager comes up bitching at the waitress who's trying to take a carryout order. It's very evident that she's taking a very complicated takeout order. Not hard for me to get, not hard for anybody else. There is only me standing there at the checkout. Not a group of people. We're cool. We're like, cool. You know, we had a lovely meal. Stephanie had us prep for this. It's enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
The manager comes up there. You'll have to move out of my way. I've got to check people out. I can't be moving tables and taking carry-out orders. I've got to check people out. And I looked at him very directly and said, don't you have a busboy or a kitchen staff that can move tables while your waitress takes a carry-out order and your other ones are managing your floor? No, we don't have busboys, but waitresses get to keep all their tips. Oh, well, what about your $30,000 salary? Can you not multitask? You expect waitresses to.
Well, and it was more so like I don't know, maybe I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's just having a real bad night.
Mm-hmm.
Real bad night. Just like this is not him on any other given day of the week, and just tonight is the night.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I also think if you have a customer service facing job, it is part of the deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of the deal, you know. Fake smile and keep moving.
Mm-hmm. The other part is not insult your waitress staff. Sorry.
Yeah, no, don't trash talk your staff. Like, I saw like 3 waitresses when he started getting snippy
mm-hmm.
that were like, not tonight, not tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we were about to goodbye Earl you.
I was about ready to goodbye Earl him. And I didn't even work for the man.
Yeah. Like, it was it was a moment. So
Yeah.
I do hope if it was an intermittent issue,
Which it doesn't look to be.
doesn't look to be, because that staff was not having it.
Yeah.
It was like, not today, not today. I'm done. Not today. Not today. Not today. I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, and that's bad because that means because we've had other wait staff in that restaurant, and they're all pretty good.
Most of them. There's a few
Some
that I can
better than others. Some better than others.
Yeah.
Stephanie was amazing.
Yep. Have no complaints on her.
But they're all pretty good.
Yeah.
And most of them, like I've never seen one of them like break face.
Right.
But they were breaking face real quick that night. Like.
Right. Because a few of them know me. Know who I am, know my background, know how it is. Know that I
just
could
say
probably
during
run a
COVID, it was
restaurant.
about the only place open. Like, wasn't this the poor, unfortunate Denny's? We ended up with, or ended up at, excuse me, I should say ended up with. That sounds bad. Right. It was great. But ended up at the night we tried to go to McDonald's. And this poor, unfortunate manager of McDonald's, who couldn't have been more than like 25.
Actually, I think he was just 21.
Probably. Like, he was a baby. He was a baby manager.
Right.
Had to, beside himself, like, I don't even know what's going on right now. Right. Had to tell us that his entire staff just walked out.
Right. Except him.
So, he wasn't sure what we were supposed to do with that or what he was supposed to do with that, but he relayed to us that his entire staff just quit. And so we were like, okay, I think dude's had enough for one night. We're not even going to try.
Yeah, we're not going to try him on my McDonald's order. He will fail and have a mental breakdown.
We're good. He was already having one.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, you poor baby. Yeah. I mean that sincerely. Like, this was like height of COVID. It was bad.
Right.
Like, it was bad.
Right.
So yeah, we kept driving.
Right.
It was so the weather was so nasty that night.
Yeah.
And it we finally found our way to this little Denny's. And its little this little light of mine of its sign through the fog and the rain and the nastiness. And we went in and had a great evening.
Yeah.
Like, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
But
I held support and we done great. But no, this time, that evening shift manager, not a good manager for me to be a customer under.
That did not go well.
No.
Yeah. But no. Still Ruby Tuesdays.
Yeah. Ruby Tuesdays takes the cake for the worst experience. And they got told that in feedback.
Yeah. Comey did great.
Yes. Love the concept.
They did awesome. The McDonald's up there did okay.
Now, that McDonald's has been kicking ass for 20 years.
Yeah, they were having some issues, I will say, on, what was it, Sunday morning?
Yeah, Sunday morning, I think someone was new.
Yeah, they were having a lot of issues with the orders.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure if you DoorDashed on Sunday,
yeah,
y'all owe your DoorDash driver an extra tip for putting up. Two. Yeah, because they were having, those poor DoorDash drivers were having to come right back in.
Yeah, this isn't the order.
This isn't the order. This is wrong. Stuff is missing. And, it was turning into a little mini cluster.
Right.
And it was like, oh my God, this is getting bad.
Yeah. So. But they figured it out. I'm sure that, and this is the one right there at University Drive. They are normally amazing.
Oh, yeah. Like, this did not put me off, like, my corporate McDonald's experience, because we're pretty sure that one's corporate.
If not, it's owned by somebody that don't play games.
Yeah, they've run a perfect store.
Yeah.
Because it feels like a corporate location.
Yeah.
Like, it just, it's all the McDonald's. It's all the things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it truly is. Like, it's, I'm not, like, and he can tell you, I'm not a huge McDonald's fan.
Mm-hmm.
But I have no problems with going to that one.
Yeah.
Like, in town, he says it, and I'm just like, okay.
Like, again, you need grease again.
You know, it's just which form of bad McDonald's are we going to today?
We'll go to the rude staff one so I can tell them off. But anyhow.
Okay, cool. Because literally, it's like, there's two locally, and it's like, it's like, choose your bad adventure. Because it's not going to be good.
Well, right. One, I'm not sure how they're still open.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they have a new building. They have a brand new building, and it's going to waste. What I mean by that is the staff couldn't get an order right if you paid them to. Oh, yeah, you do pay them to with your food, but anyhow.
Yeah. It's the theory.
It's the theory.
And then there's the other one where it's like, I'm pretty sure one employee has all the brain cells. And we just can't show up there when he's working.
Right.
Or she is working. Or they are working.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Is it a he? Is it a she? Is it a they? Or them? But, like, I think it's like one employee has all the brain cells.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, they go off shift, and that poor store.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes it's a blue moon. It's a blue moon event. You go in, or you go through the drive-thru, and just, it's perfect.
Yeah.
And then 99 more times till you hit that perfect again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah. Now, I will clearly explain that I am a very complicated order, because there's things that go on a sandwich, and there are things that should not go on a sandwich, and they can't seem to get this as a concept. Like, they just don't get it, people. So I'll give them that I'm a complicated order. But when you cannot figure out that double cheese means multiple pieces of cheese, we have an issue. When it's not an issue, I can easily fix.
Or cheese at all.
Yeah.
Like the number of times you've said double cheese and gotten none.
Yeah.
It's just like, guys.
Yeah.
I need you to show up. Just a little harder. Just try a little harder.
Yeah.
Ever so slightly. Like, I know it's fast food. I know that. I know the pay sucks. I get it.
Right.
But just, like, just of effort.
Just a cookie bit of effort. Just a bit of understanding that, yes, I expect my drink with my meal.
Yes.
The last experience I had there, I ordered my drink with my meal. They brought me my meal and said, the machine is being cleaned. It'll only be a minute. I thought, lovely. It'll just be a minute. I can get my drink. We can have my meal. It's fine. It's great that they're cleaning the machine mid of a busy time, but okay.
Love the clean machines.
Yeah.
Love the clean machines.
Yeah. An hour later, I have a small problem.
Yes. Because, oops, they made it. Like, once the machine was finished cleaning, they made it. They just forgot about it.
Yeah.
It's like, are y'all serious?
Yeah. You know,
Like, and
basically
the
figured
amount
out,
of patience you had to have for an hour is amazing.
I know
Because
I deserve brownies, lava cakes, and cookies for that. Mm-hmm.
you do, I'll support that. But all right,
Okay.
and that is the West Virginia restaurant report.
Well, yeah, and see, I'm gonna have to get with Brenda because if we're gonna go up there later, I want some more mom and pops because I get seriously tired of chain restaurants. They don't
Yeah.
provide the experience I need.
See, I'm almost afraid though that's going to be the Morgantown problem.
Mm-hmm.
Is that there really are not any mom and pop restaurants. It's all chains. Because they've really built that area up, Morgantown, Clarksburg, Bridgeport. They have really built it up around chains. And I don't know that they haven't pushed all the mom and pops to closure.
Well, no, I see her post pictures of it. Like, there's a few. There's a hot dog shop that I've got to track down. Because you know me and hot dogs. Brenda posts the hot dog pictures every summer, and it drives me crazy.
Well, basically, for my own joy, could you send us any restaurants that have a wonky schedule?
Yeah.
You know, like they're closed on Tuesday, they're open for 5 hours on Monday, and a different 5 hours on Wednesday, and then like somewhere like that.
Yeah.
Ooh, Brenda's like, I'll give you a list and the type of food they have.
Cool. Wonderful.
But put an asterisk next to the ones that have wonky schedules.
Yeah.
Because one of the best restaurants, truly the best restaurants I remember from my college days was this little tiny place in the basement of an accounting firm in Greensboro, North Carolina called Habel's Hearth. And you just had to drive by and see if they were open because trying to memorize that schedule.
Mm-hmm.
I like it was like they picked their open and close times with a dartboard.
Or someone else's work schedule.
Or something. Like it was nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, Joe sounds like he's wanting the restaurant version of Azafriel's bookshop. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Now, I've dealt with bookshops like that in Princeton, and I did not appreciate it, and it's no longer in business.
Right.
Not that they were a really good bookshop. They were the greatest purveyor of granny porn ever. Every little old lady just like learned to write their little schedule down and just know whether they could get their granny porn at fix at what day and time. Oh, so from Good Omens. Okay. I'm going to have to go back and rewatch that because I remember watching it and loving it and thinking it was funny, but I'm a lot of y'all are dropping like references to it like here, and I'm hearing others, and I'm like, I don't either that's new or I really need to go back and rewatch.
Yeah.
All
right. So with that, let's find out.
All right. Am I the asshole? Because I don't want my boyfriend to leave me with his 3 kids while he leaves for 10 days. My boyfriend, 50, and myself, 39, live together, have been together for a year and a half. I have 1 4-year-old daughter. He has 3 kids that are here every other week, ages 7, 10, and 14. The 7 and 10-year-old have behavioral issues and ADHD. They are quite a handful for me who's adjusting to life with 4 kids when they're over. And I've had trouble bonding with them. I caught the 10-year-old stealing from me a few times, and the 7-year-old is super hyperactive and needs consistent attention, and he's super loud. Boyfriend just told me he's leaving on a 10-day work trip, and 5 of these days, his kids will be here. He's leaving this coming week. He hadn't asked if this was okay with me. He just told me this is what's happening. When I asked why I'm the last person to know, when I should be the first because I'll be watching his kids, he tells me referring to them as his and not ours is toxic. He volunteered to be one of the guys that goes for this work trip. He's a general laborer. I'm dreading these 5 days watching all the kids. It's an absolute madhouse, and I'm still trying to adjust to this new life with 4 kids as we haven't lived together long. Am I the asshole for wanting his kids to stay at their mother's for those 5 days, or for him to come home on the week that they're here?
I don't think so. Here's why, and this is a bigger debate than what's being presented. Let me explain. They are not the parent. They're not the legal guardians. They have no legal right to the child. If there is an incident, they can't take the child to the doctor. They can't take the child to the hospital. They can't do nothing with the child.
I've got a lot of issues with this one.
Mm-hmm.
One, I feel like immediately launching into calling them, his kids, not ours, is toxic. Like, ew, that's a sucker punch.
Right.
Like that's conversation ender. Like that's just like that's a silencer move.
Right.
I don't have a necessary problem with the fact that he volunteered to be one of the guys that goes for this work trip.
Right.
I do, however, have a problem with the fact that he didn't really plan this.
Right.
So much as he just made a lot of assumptions that, like, well, you're a woman.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You. That's a woman thing, is
right.
what it sounds like.
Right.
And yeah, no. I think you bring up a very valid point that basically these are her stepchildren, and no matter how much she likes them, cares about them, wants to take care of them, is totally down for this 2-week period.
Right.
She's not their parent.
Right.
And is probably not recognized in any way, shape, or form. The best she's going to be able to do for that week is call their mother.
Right.
In addition, like a year and a half, I really think trying to call that now, like this is the one nitpick I have with her is that I think after a year and a half, you're going to have to quit calling it your new life and adjusting to it.
Yeah.
You're either adjusted or you're not.
Right. Well, because here's the hard facts to it. It's not a full year and a half. Here's what I mean by that. They have them 3 days a week times 52.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like it's a 5 and it's I don't know. It sounds like it's some kind of off and on.
Okay.
Like week switch, like it's a 50-50 custody or something. And like basically they're going to leave, he's going to leave, they're going to show up, and then they're going to leave. And then basically the next time they're over is right after he gets back.
Right. So is it a week or a weekend that they're there?
It sounds like it's basically a 5-day week.
Okay. So they're going to be there for 5 days. So on average, they're there 5 days a week times 52. 260 days divided by 2 plus 260 divided by 365.
Again, I think this is one of those weird wonkies.
Right. So we will say that she's been she's not even a step parent.
Well, she technically is, but not in any useful way.
Right.
And that's not a dig against her. That's the literal legal situation. She's not.
Right. She is not legally a step parent. Like, she has no right to. She is. It'd be like me having Dark Huntress's kids for a week.
Yeah, like, well, and I mean, it's not like in that year and a half she hasn't picked up on some things and learned some things and knows some things. But I mean, she's basically overwhelmed with the three of them.
Right.
And that's legit. And
Yeah.
you don't get to dismiss that. Like,
well, and my thing is when children, yeah, but my thing is when children are in this rotational stream, very often there's family bonds that are missed. So why not send them to the family bond? I.e., the week they're with me, they're going to be seeing their grandparents.
That's definitely an option.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it needs to be one that OP has to come up with.
No.
I think it has way more to do with getting her husband her boyfriend, and a boyfriend at that, not even a husband.
Right.
I see what you're saying now. I get it now.
Right.
So like literally, like she legally is a fucking stranger.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, but she is.
Yeah.
And no, this is not. And I'm just curious. Does mom know?
Yeah.
Does anyone tell the ex-wife or the ex baby mama?
Right.
That like this is the deal and this is what's going to happen over those 10 days. The 5 of which your kids are going to be here. I'm not going to be here. My girlfriend is.
Right.
So she's going to handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think baby mama is gonna be all like, oh, that sounds great.
Sounds like ex-wife is not going to be too happy because it's more than baby mama.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 3 kids, that's more than a baby mama.
Well, but you get the point though.
Right.
Like, I don't know, was this like, is he just one of those never gets married?
Doubtful.
Like, oh.
Doubtful.
Like, we don't have that here, and it sounds like after a year and a half, he's not springing for a ring for her either.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, maybe make her your wife,
mm-hmm.
and then we'll talk about part-time child custody.
Right.
As a theory.
That's a good starter theory.
Yeah, like buy the ring. Again, don't go buy the ring just so you have free childcare, but
please, it's been occurring for fucking centuries.
Well, there is that.
Okay.
But no, I think that's a lot of expectation to put on someone that I'm sure has made it clear that they are still overwhelmed with your 3 kids from some other relationship.
Right.
Whatever that relationship was. In addition, like a 7 and a 10-year-old with behavioral issues and ADHD.
Yeah.
That's a lot of curveballs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, well, just watch my 7 and 10-year-old who have no issues whatsoever.
Right.
Like,
and then, is it going to even work out? Like, do they even see her as an authority figure? Because I'm sorry,
Yeah, I think Shannon makes a good point. It sounds like this is the beginning of free childcare.
Mm-hmm.
And just he disappears.
Right.
And that's a thing. That's a legit thing. And it's a scary legit thing.
Very.
That, like, no. I'm sorry. I'm going with not the asshole. I think you bring up legitimate points. I think none of this should have just been decided without you. And I really don't appreciate the fact that your other half, your boyfriend, tends towards like unfair situations or creating unfair situations and conversation enders.
Right. Well,
like I'm sorry that referring to them as his and not ours is toxic. That is a body slam.
right.
How do you defend that? How do you sit there? Like, that's a total argument derailment thing to say.
Well, that's what I call cheap behavior.
Do I know?
That's what I call cheap behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Because one, we're talking about people. Children are people. Yes, take that as a note. Hello, Frankie.
Mm-hmm.
Children are people.
Yes.
Not things, not property. They're not dogs. Like, I'd be more picky about leaving, you know, we've had deeper discussions about you taking care of the kids.
Yes, and we're talking about animals,
Yes.
not humans,
Yes.
like dogs and cats.
Yes.
And after soon to be 6 years, I still have things that it's like, nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Like, I'll go buy all the dog food you need me to buy, but I cannot be the one here to feed them over the weekend.
Yeah.
Like, you have to work that out because, no.
Well, and we do. One,
right. Well, but that's like one of the things is I can't do it.
Right.
Like, it absolutely, there's something about the smell of pet food.
Canned pet food. Let's clarify.
Canned pet food specific. I'm okay. I can survive like the dry foods.
Mm-hmm.
And like I can refill if I have to.
Right.
But like the wet foods, no.
Mm-mm.
I can't do it. It absolutely rips me apart.
Right.
So yeah, like, and that's after multiple years. I can't get there. Right. And I've had that issue for years. I hate the pet food aisle at the store overwhelms me.
Right.
Like, and yeah, no.
Yeah. So if we go away, either the boys get real food, or
yeah, no, I can do the rice chicken thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, total mental barf noises over here. Absolutely. Yeah. Like it just
Yeah.
Like it's something about it. I don't know what it is. Like I wish I knew what the one thing was. Now the actual like rice and chicken and that we put in the Instapot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can dole that out all day. That has never set me off.
Right.
But you put it in a metal can and open it, and it's just
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
No. And the little foil tops or whatever. I don't know if it has to do with like the metal, the canning process, or if it's a literal ingredient in there.
Yeah.
But it tears me apart.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not your free child care, honey.
Well, you're not my free child care to begin with, but we had very detailed conversation because my children are, spoiled.
Yes. Still mad about the mustard thing.
You're still mad over the mustard thing. You're still trying to sort out how to feed one of our children vegetables.
He's so weird. He's so freaking weird.
Go into it.
You take it away. It's such a damn list.
Okay. If it belongs dipped in a sauce, he eats it in the sauce. Okay. Meaning, if you feed him broccoli, you also have to give him the ranch dressing on the broccoli. If you feed him, anything other than broccoli, like cucumber, celery, anything you would dip in a ranch dressing, he expects it in ranch dressing. Hand it to him raw, it's not correct. Just like, he doesn't do that.
Doesn't do celery without peanut butter.
Nope. Celery requires peanut butter. If you
Like,
have,
like the dog is basically a vegetarian,
well,
but he is a condiment whore.
yes,
Like, except for mustard.
he does not like mustard.
Hates mustard. Hates all forms of mustard.
Right.
Oh, minus the hot pepper mustard.
He likes the hot pepper mustard. He likes the Grey Poupon.
What?
Yes, he'll eat Grey Poupon.
But he doesn't do honey Dijon.
He does not do honey Dijon. He does not do spicy mustard. He does not do yellow mustard. He does not do mustard on chicken.
Normal. He doesn't do normal at all. This dog will not do normal.
Grey Poupon.
Ever.
Yeah.
This is the only dog I've ever seen get picky about, like, like most, like, I have this mental idea that if food falls on the floor, the dog will take it out. Like, that's it. Like, no problem, no worries. I am here for whatever lands on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Not Vlad.
No.
He chooses.
Well, not only that, but he looks for you to tell him he can.
Well, there's that, but then additionally, well, not always. There's some things it's like it hits the floor, it's his.
Yes.
Like, nope, it's gone. But no, he gets choosy.
Yeah.
About, like, do I like that?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, sky food landed on floor, you're supposed to just eat it and not care.
Right.
See, that's how that works.
Yeah. He does not agree.
I'm like, you lick your own butthole. How bad can raw celery be?
Well, one, you didn't dip it in anything.
Neither did his butthole.
We're not discussing that. You didn't serve it to him properly, and furthermore, you didn't even ask him if he wanted any. He has his own preferences and ideas on food and food culture and, his own divisive distaste of food. He gets bored of foods.
He's a little mad that I don't make him his own bag of popcorn when I make mine.
And he also doesn't understand why you don't burn it like Daddy does.
Yeah, he's real confused with that. I swear to God, for the first 3 years, he was fine with me having popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
Until he realized it wasn't supposed to smell like that.
Yeah.
And now I can't stop him.
Yeah.
Like, he does not eat burned popcorn anymore. He has given it up.
Well, not only that, but, he also gets picky over television.
Yes.
He has shows he watches with you and shows he is like, I'm out.
He leaves the room.
Okay. This is my dog. Considering that I do believe he's ADHD, I'm diagnosed currently. I cannot imagine.
Are we going to have him tested?
Well, I've thought about it, but I just don't feel like going to Tampa to get it done. And he's not really the one that needs tested.
Wait, I'm sorry. In the middle of an ADHD med an ADHD med shortage. We're literally talking about having your dog tested for ADHD, and what are they going to do? Give him puppy Ritalin?
Well, they are already giving dogs Ritalin and Comac.
Yeah, Vlad's a bit of a diva. You couldn't have guessed, right?
Right. Anyhow, then we have your son. There's a whole different ball of tomato.
Okay.
And developing a personality.
Finally. Like, the longest time he was just like squirrel.
Yeah. Who definitely needs to be diagnosed ADHD. Point blank. Like, that's where he's at.
Meanwhile, you called him a diva.
Uh-huh.
He now just sighed heavily.
Uh-huh.
Down behind you.
Yes.
Just FYI for those watching. That's the blur you saw come in.
Yeah. He came out of the kitchen to go see what you are watching on TV. And you're not.
And now he's laying behind me huffing.
Yes.
He's not happy.
Well, what were you watching earlier that he didn't finish?
Nothing.
Okay.
I haven't watched anything in this house in days.
Again, things that your child enjoys spending time with you doing. He's still mad at us for being gone.
Well, there's that. But we didn't get met at the door with the, where the hell have you been?
No, we got met at the driveway.
Oh, fair. Fair. All right. So anyway, back to my son.
Yes. He's developing an attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Don't know where he's getting it from.
What? What's the newest development I missed?
Oh, you didn't hear that, he basically has took over the chair and gets huffy if he can't get to it. So Invisible took out your gate to keep him, somewhat from destroying his room.
No, I missed that.
Yes.
He now has a favorite chair. My niece is never getting this chair.
6 years. 6 years.
Okay, fair point.
6 years.
Fair point.
Yes, I did say that with a straight face.
He did. I know, it's been 6 years. She was supposed to, there was COVID. We can knock 3 years right out of the middle. It's 3 years she's needed to get the chair.
Uh-huh.
I don't think COVID counts. Well, and then there was the half year portion. Take some time for bereavement. She lost her dad.
I get that, but how many trips did she make into West Virginia during that time?
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, I'm quite sure it was multiple. Through West Virginia to North Carolina, up and above. Called her out on the show. Called her out on TikTok. Still, the chair is now in Gizmo's room because I've moved out and given him his own room.
He has his own room.
Yes.
The dog has his own room. I share one.
You have your own room.
I have my office.
Right.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, Lord.
Oh, I'm not the only.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No. Trips of half day or longer require a toy brought home or the pouting and ignoring me lasts. No ideas.
He'll just order food.
Basically.
Sorry, he's a foodie.
No, that's how you bribed him.
Uh-huh.
I figured it out. It took forever. It really did. Because I thought for the longest time he didn't like mustard. And I'm talking about Aeson. I didn't think he liked mustard. Everything, we would go out to eat and he would never get it. He always took mustard off, ordered it with no mustard, whatever. And it turned out, because I ingrained with that you didn't like mustard.
Yeah, I hate ketchup.
Then all of a sudden, he orders a corn dog and mustard. And I went, wait, what? I'm like, you don't like mustard. Why did you order mustard? No, I like mustard. Whatever gave you that idea? You literally take it off every single hamburger, hot dog. You make sure mustard is not involved. Yeah, that's in case I have leftovers because Vlad doesn't eat mustard. I'm sorry, what? Like, it broke me. It did. I broke as a human in that moment. I'm sorry. You like mustard, the dog doesn't. So you don't order mustard on anything, ever, anywhere. Like, you go out of your way to make sure it does not have mustard. In case there's leftovers,
Mhm.
so you can feed them to the dog, and he will not complain about the fact there's mustard.
Right. I also don't like ketchup. He likes ketchup. I don't order ketchup.
But you order ketchup.
No, I don't.
You'll order the packets.
Yes, for Michael.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll also put down some fries and some ketchup for the dog.
Mm-hmm. He has to have something to dip them in. Do you expect him to eat fries with nothing on them?
Yes, because he's a dog.
No.
If you can lick your own butthole, you're not allowed to have choosiness about your food. And Brenda's like, it makes sense to me. Okay, fair enough.
Okay, so on to relationship advice. The poll is up. Is she the asshole for not wanting to babysit her boyfriend's children? Not even hers.
All right, so relationship advice. Why do I, 24 female, suddenly feel so annoyed at my boyfriend, 23 male? I've been with him for a year now, and we've lived together for a year. At first, it was going really well with no arguments, and to be honest, I was kind of rushed into the relationship knowing I wasn't ready. Lately, I realized a lot of things. That we have nothing in common, no common interests. His friend groups are so different from me that I feel intimidated to hang out with them. I can sense him being tired and bored every time we are together, and makes me annoyed. The stuff we talk about is always the same. I don't feel excited to hang out anymore. I can sense that he doesn't feel excited. My life right now is also a mess. My mental health is bad. He says no to stuff I want to do now, so I just do it alone. Study at cafe, going to gym, walking outside, going to events. I feel that I'm forcing him to do a lot of things. He is too lazy. I get too many icks. People he hangs out with annoy me, and I don't like when he talks about them. His family culture and mindset is so different from me and my family. When we are home, he doesn't really initiate anything unless he senses that something is wrong, so he just sleeps or plays games. Him playing games annoys me so much because he is yelling and I'm trying to study or relax. The combos we have in so quickly, I don't know if he is even putting effort or if it's because we both are just quiet people. I don't feel attracted as much. Am I just out of the honeymoon phase? Sorry about that. What could I do to stop being annoyed? Anything he does, I just want to cry because I'm feeling so annoyed, but I don't know why. It just started to happen last week, but here are good things about it. He does everything I tell him to do. He always listens. He is patient. He tries to put me first. He thinks about our future together. He puts effort to meet my friends and get to know them. He tries to help me out in a depressive episode. He buys me food and dates. He always asks me how I feel and stuff. He remembers everything I tell him. He shows me love and affection. He tries his best to make me happy.
Are we looking for a border collie?
People do this?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, because I'm trying to figure out, like, how much of this is, like, legit? How much of this is tied to whatever mental health issues are going on?
Mm-hmm.
Because that can really warp perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know, somehow I feel like I'm sensing some bipolar here.
Well, I sense some bipolar there, and I'll give you that one. However, there's more than that here.
yeah, there's a definite mismatch, and I was already thrown in the beginning when it's like I've been with him for a year and we've lived together for a year.
Yeah.
And it's like that's only 1 year.
Right.
As in you basically met and moved in together.
Yeah. Either that or they've been together for 2 years, one dating and one living together. And it's not clearly translated directly correctly. But anyhow.
So let's assume it's 2 years. Half of that was spent dating, half of it was spent living together.
Right.
Okay.
So with that, let's go to the next part of this.
All right.
You don't get along.
Long and short of it,
You don't like your friends. You don't like your...
some instances they get along,
Mm-hmm.
but like they have a lot of things not in common and a lot of different approaches to things and a lot of differences across the board.
Right.
Ooh, Shannon asks, is she pregnant?
That's a good possibility. That's a heavy possibility. Here's the other thing to that. There's something called the honeymoon phase. And that's, or we call it the new relationship energy phase. The moon and stars set in their eyes. They're the perfect boyfriend. They're the perfect girlfriend. Y'all just love each other so much.
Yes. Well, and see, this is where I start picking up the bipolar at.
Right.
Is like, well, but again, like I'm thinking that if it really were like that's where I glitched on the like, is it the same year
Right.
that they've been together, that they've been dating and living together? Because if so, that screams bipolar impulsivity.
Right.
But
the other side of that is it happens. You hate each other. You are not meant in this plane of existence to like everything the other person does.
yeah, and that can actually be a strong basis for a relationship
Mm-hmm.
if you can appreciate it.
Right.
Like, and there's a fine line there between things that make you want to stab someone to death
Mm-hmm.
and things that it's like, yeah, we totally handle that completely differently, but that's okay.
Right.
Like, I can appreciate why you do it your way. You can appreciate why I do it mine.
Right. And then there is the level of what I call boyfriend gets lazy.
Okay.
And they do.
Well, it's not just boyfriends. I think everyone in a relationship, like there's new relationship energy and that carries you a long way and gets you a lot of cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a tapering.
Right.
Like you can't keep it up. You can't hold in the farts. You can't, like you just can't. You can't.
Right, but no, there's laziness that occurs in relationships. Normally, it's the man that gets there first. Sorry, it is. And it's the laziness part of it, where they just stop doing the extras, the little things, the important things that you just thought made them so cute. And it takes a moment for the human brain to catch up and go, oh, we've now moved past the, oh, it's so loving and sweet, to, oh, hello. Yep, we're in a relationship. You just woke up and you've got that look on your face again. Or, oh, well, you always bring me chocolate when you go there, but you stopped.
Well, and then the question becomes like, why?
Yeah.
Like some of it is like we do get into a routine. We do just kind of fall back into our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a comfortability that's supposed to come with relationships. Like that's part of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is I don't know. I always approach it differently. I think that fundamentally relationships are my baggage and bullshit go with your baggage and bullshit, and it's a match set.
Yeah.
And fundamentally that's what a relationship is.
Well, fundamentally it is. But, you know, then there's the level of relationship that's misleading.
Mm-hmm.
You always, you know, you put your best foot forward, put your best smile on, but you still mislead the person. I don't think that she's gotten there.
Yeah, I don't think that's quite it.
Right.
Like, it doesn't sound like someone got love bombed, per se. And it sounds like maybe at worst someone was taught how to date and did all of the things. And, you know, like how to get a mate, basically.
Right.
And then it was too much and unsustainable. Because that's the other part of it. Some of this is just, like, some things are just not sustainable.
Right.
Like, you can't.
Well, you can, but it takes effort and trial and attention. And not a lot of people want to do it. Not a lot of people have got it in them to do it. Not a lot of people can keep the focus long enough to do it. And a lot of people get lazy with it because relationships take work. And when you're cruising on that new relationship energy and everything is great and grand and wonderful, you don't think about the work. The, you know, spending time or communicating or really having honest, trustful, truthful communication. You just are dating. You just are, you know, oh yeah, that's so cute and funny that you sit there and play games for 18 hours a day while I bust my ass. Oh, that's just sweet and nice that you think that it's great that we just go out to eat, you know, after working, you know, all day. That's not sustainable. That's not what, you know, the party is wanting. And it takes a bit to readjust and reevaluate and question what they're actually putting out.
Well, and it's like after dating ends, after new relationship energy wears off, okay, like this is where the dust starts to settle. Like, is this someone you can have a long-term relationship with?
Yeah.
Like, do you really need those things? Like, and more importantly, if you were to, like, could you have a conversation and go, look, I understand new relationship energy is a thing and, like, it's not long-term sustainable, like, but here's some things you're doing that I don't need.
Right.
Can you stop doing those and put effort into, like, these things that I do?
Right.
Like, could you just, like, I don't need this. This is cute and fun and whatever. But really, if you just do these 5 things, I'd be good.
Right. You know, and these are the things that we need done. You know, these are the things that I need from you. These are the things I don't need from you. You know, though that, you know, especially if you've, you know, if, you know, going, and the other part of this that concerns me is you're mad that he doesn't go with you. Some of these things, I don't want him with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
I don't like it. That whole boyfriend girlfriend studying at the cafe thing sounds great.
Right.
It isn't.
It isn't. Get the hell away from me. You know.
Going for a walk outside, like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I think you could ask for that one. And then, like, figure out something to trade off for it. Something that you're just like, yeah, you do that, and it just
Right.
like I don't need you to do that.
Right.
I don't need you to put gas in my car.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I will fill it up myself if you will go for a walk.
Right.
Like, I will take it to the mechanic myself. I will take out the trash.
Right.
I will do the dishes. I will do the laundry. Just go for a walk.
Right. What trade-off do you need?
Yep.
And then the other part is realizing that some things just aren't for them. And that's okay. Let it be not for them. Let it be yours. Take ownership of it. Mm-hmm. That'll sometimes benefit you the most.
Well, and I think above all, always remember that, like, because it sounds like she's stuck at the point of anxiety.
Well, she's
that,
stuck
like,
at the point of, it's anxiety, it's stressful, and she feels like, oh, it's never going to go. It's never going to work. It's never going to be there. I've wasted a year. We're going with 2 years of my life with this person. It's never going to be what I want it to be. Because it never was what you wanted it to be.
Right, but it also sounds like she's arguing the position of maybe she's also about to throw away something that is good and she just doesn't recognize it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that duality problem of like, this doesn't feel like I want it to or what I think it ought to be.
Right.
But I don't want to find out later that, no, this was as good as it was ever going to get and I threw it away.
Right. And that gets contentious. Yeah. That gets aggravating. That gets troublesome sometimes to make that decision. But I don't think you should throw it immediately away. I think you should, however, have a conversation of, these are our problems. These are the things I expect. These are the things I need in a boyfriend. These are the things I would like you to do.
Yeah. And then be willing to trade some things off.
Right.
Like, and y'all will have to work through that because there's stuff. He's probably also doing stuff that you don't recognize because you don't want it.
Right.
Like, that's not your thing. That does not give you the feels.
Right.
And so, like, because 23-year-old dude could be coming home with jewelry every week, and she's like, yeah, I don't care about that shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not into jewelry. Like, okay, thanks, another necklace. You know.
Whatever.
I don't know. But, like, that's another list to make, is start paying attention to the moments where you're like, okay, I don't know what the fuck this is about.
Yeah.
Because you may find out that, like, no, seriously, he's doing some major things, and they don't resonate with you. Right. Like, it just doesn't. Doesn't do it for me.
Right.
Like, you can save a whole lot of cash, or you can save a whole lot of time, and just skip all that because no.
Right.
I don't need it.
Yeah. And the other part of that is realizing that. No, you are not the sociopath. He is not a manipulative sociopath that has completely misled you on this trail of a relationship.
No, it doesn't sound like it's anywhere near that. But also probably the biggest thing to remember for me, or from me, is that, there's no win or lose here. Like, you're 24. This does not mean this is the last relationship you'll ever be in, or the last good relationship you'll ever be in, or even the last bad relationship you'll be in.
Right.
And some people are just people you date to learn what you need to know for the next one. Some of us need multiple attempts. And it doesn't mean they're horrible people. Like, I hate this concept that we have that, like, the only reason to ever break up with someone is because they're horrible. You have to prove they're horrible. See, they're horrible. It's not me, it's them. They're horrible. No, you can break up with someone because you're just not vibing. You're
Right.
not feeling it.
Right.
They just don't do it for you.
Right.
That's a reason to break up, and that doesn't mean they're horrible people. It
Right.
really doesn't. I have exes that I think are amazing human beings, but we are so wrong for each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not a bad person. They're not a bad person. We together, however, are a bad relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Not a toxic, violent, nasty, messy, ugly relationship. It's just meh.
Yeah.
Meh.
Yeah. You know.
Meh.
Some
Doesn't work.
people. Well, right. It doesn't work. And then some relationships work, but it takes caveats. It takes negotiation. It takes clear understanding of what's expected, when it's expected, how it's expected. And those are all different things to figure out.
Yep. And then there's also one step beyond that, which is when the relationship can work, but the amount of effort,
Right.
like, is it worth it?
Mm-hmm.
Is it really worth it? Like, if you have to, like, I think there's a level of trying everyone needs to be doing, and then there's a level of trying that's like, okay, but seriously,
Right.
like, is this really what you want to do with your life?
Yeah.
Like, you like, because I don't know. I've run into couples that it sounds like there's a fucking checklist,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, and it's not a short one. It's you know what I mean? Like it's like everything is scripted out, and there's a fucking checklist,
Mm-hmm.
and like you just like all day long,
Right.
to make a happy relationship. And I'm like, I think that gets a little too much.
It can.
Like,
It can. All right. So let's see if you're the asshole this week.
all right, am I the asshole? He says, feeling like he knows the answer isn't down.
No, you're not the asshole.
Well, guys, I'm not looking. I'm just saying, like, I have to question y'all if you were like, yes, you're the asshole. I'd be like, seriously?
Is that when you want me to poll the jury?
Yeah, that would be like, I want to hear, like, I want to know who hurt you. I want to know who you are, and then I want to know who hurt you.
Okay. All right, guys. We are back to standard publication and standard broadcasting. So I will see you Thursday night at 8 p.m. With that, take it away, Vanna.
All right, so of course we want to thank Beverly Walker, Mika G, Kathy, Mary Winfield, Brenda, Shannon C, Shannon D, Lady Gwendolyn, Charles Shaw, Tracy Van, Caitlin Bell, and Devin. If you'd like to learn more about us, the show, or how you too can become a Patreon sponsor and receive all the wonderful benefits our baristas receive, please visit us at pcspnetwork.com. Also, don't forget, if you want to buy one of us a coffee, we never say no.
Mm-hmm.
You can send money to the Cash App or Venmo below our names.
With that, guys, good night.
Good night.